All right, guys, we're all back after the short break. So this is day 8 on the 30 days of Postman here at the University of UNIUYO. All right, so straight into it. So today we're doing authorization, and first of all, we're going to fork parent collection. 2 hours. Just gonna fork it into hours, and we're gonna start with reading what is required. So today we're going to be authorizing a few requests using different schemes or method according to the API here. So we're first going to fork the Postman API collection to this workspace. So the instruction says we should fork this into our workspace, and rename, then find a request to get all of our collections inside here. So we're going to look for collections. Here it is. And then we find get all collections. So it says we should duplicate it. So we click on the context menu on the side where we duplicate. And then we're just going to pick this. So we're going to put it or just cut. No. It says we should drag the copy over to the authorization. So this folder. And we should rename it to all collections header. Header. Okay. Just work here and we go back and we read it. It says add a header X API key with the value Postman API key. So under the headers tab here we have the header X API key and Postman API key. Okay, so currently it's not ready, but earlier on we had already set this environment, so it's going to be populated. So also we need to fill the base URL field, and I'm sure that is, I'll just get it from this one here. And add it to the collection. Yes. And then back to the documentation. Can now hit send. Okay, this isn't populated properly. So I'll hit send. Alright, we get it 200. Okay, so I'd save that. Next, add a query parameter. So duplicating this same request and renaming it to all copies query params. Sorry, duplicate all collections. So we're going to add parameters and say API key, and we're going to send again. Get a 200 response. We've added a header, we've added a query parameters, and now we're going to add an auth helper. So we'll duplicate the request once again. And we're going to, let's just read through it again. It says to add auth helper, delete the key value pair under the params tab. So first of all, we delete this key value pair we added. Okay, it's already deleted. And then we didn't save this. And then we go into the authorization tab, select API key from the drop down, and then call it X API key, and it's still going to be Postman API key. Save and send. Alright, so last one is adding folder level auth. So we're going to go into the authorization folder here and go into authorization, select API key and call it X API key, and call it, and we save. Right, then switch all these other authorizations fields to inherit auth from parents. Delete that, save, just to see if it works. We send. Okay, it works. Delete this as well. Make sure this is inherit auth for parents. We save and we run. Okay, likewise here, authorization is still API key, say inherit auth from parents, save, and you run. Alright, that works. So let's go ahead and submit our solution. To submit our solution, we first get collection ID. So we'll open here, then check for the collection ID, then come back here and replace collection ID with what we have here, and it's a folder. So this said we should set it. Okay, it's probably already here in the headers, yeah, and then we send. We have a test result 5 over 5. So all that we're doing works correctly. So this particular challenge was just to show how to work with authorization in Postman. Thank you for watching.